Hello and welcome aboard another episode of the Gallant Says podcast, live at youtube.com/Paul Gallant and twitch.tv/Gallant Says. It is very early Central Time, 12:06 a.m. on October 19th of 2023, and the Houston Astros are finally on the board in the ALCS. They took down the Texas Rangers today, 8-5 at Globe Life Field in Arlington. I want to start off, as I wait for some people to get in here, by saying, if you're an Astros fan, this is nice, but it's nothing to get too crazy about. It is just one win. They got to win another to even the series. I think we have to make sure that as a fan base that's actually, watched multiple series where the Astros have either look to be out of it or look to have things in hand and for things to dramatically change. That's what happens in playoff baseball. These series are fucking wacky. You can't ever be too confident. You can be confident down 0-2 relative to other fan bases who haven't been there and done that. But if you're being honest with yourself, you know that there's some serious things that need to be done. But that was a hell of a win. It truly was. A couple of comments here. Abraham Hernandez, youtube.com/Paul Gallant says, great win today. And Fuentes Respecter says, must win tomorrow. Every game's must win. This is where we're at. He continues saying, this will be their weakest pitching situation of the entire series. You could argue that's true for both teams here, and I'm not sure in Fuentes if you were referencing the Astros having to put Jose Urquidy out there. Urquidy looked very good the last time we saw him, or if it's going to be Andrew Heaney as the weak link for the Texas Rangers. But let's focus on the things that we saw in tonight's game. If you listen to my radio show, you heard me say that I thought Max Scherzer presented an opportunity for the Astros. Think about it from Scherzer's perspective. The guy had been out for almost a month, actually a month plus, with a shoulder injury. You're talking about a guy in Max Scherzer who I believe is 40 years old. Max Scherzer age, let me double check. 39 years old. So he's pushing 40, and he just missed a month. Baseball players are creatures of routine. So first inning went all right for him. 3 up, 3 down. But the Astros made contact. Jose Altuve hit the shit out of that ball. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Alex Bregman, I ended up watching the game at Wakefield Crowbar, and I was sitting down just as it happened. But if I'm not mistaken, Alex Bregman also took the ball that he saw in the first inning for a bit of a ride, too. I think it was one of 6 balls that the Astros hit to the warning track that ended up getting caught, including the YORDAN Alvarez home run that was robbed. So that's the first inning. Second inning, Scherzer's the one that jump-started the Astros offense. He hit a batter, he walked a batter, he gave up the single to Dubon. There's a wild pitch with 2 outs. It scores YORDAN. Maldonado gets the almost double if he was actually fast. Singles in 2 runs. It's 3-0. You feel great because you've been waiting for the Astros to have, one, any lead in this series, but also a convincing lead that they can sit on and not feel pressure and allow Cristian Javier to, I think, really settle in. And they added to it. Third inning, the very next batter that Scherzer faces, Altuve homered. In the fourth inning, Jose Abreu doubles. Mauricio Dubon scores him. And after 4 innings, he's done. That means the Rangers' bullpen's taxed going forward. It means the Rangers have to think twice about how they use Max Scherzer next time around. The bats finally woke up. I think a lot of it has to do with Scherzer. If Scherzer had been healthy, this could be a totally different story. But like in all sports, injuries happen. You got to operate with what's the reality. So the Astros do deserve credit for hitting off of Scherzer tonight. Some comments. Samson says, finally see you live before I go to bed. Yeah, apologies for that. Took me a while to get back from Wakefield Crowbar and to jot down my notes. We did a Twitter Spaces on the ESPN 97.5 gang as well. So Josh Beard, Mike O'Connor, Lance Erline, John Granado, Joe George, Andrew Carlson. 3 of the 4 shows were there. Wakefield Crowbar, by the way, was a fun experience. It was loud. It was lively. Good place to watch a ball game. More comments, youtube.com/Paul Gallant. Abraham Hernandez asks, do we start France this series or do we keep him ready in case Framber gets in trouble in his next start? I think the latter. Honestly, I think that JP France could potentially see some work since we're recording this at 12 a.m., tonight's game. I think there's a chance. How long is Urquidy going to last? I really do wonder. I love what I saw last time around, and he does have postseason experience. The Rangers, meanwhile, they've been slumping somewhat. Outside of Josh Young, it's been pretty difficult for them at the plate. So maybe he's able to keep up what he's doing. While we're on pitching, let's talk about what Cristian Javier did. He did the most Cristian Javier thing. Nearly 6 no-hit innings. 5th inning, he wasn't quite able to get out of it. He allows a single with 2 outs. I think there was a shaky strike call. Shaky check swing. I'm not 100% sure. Things sort of blur together at the bar. And it's sober October for me. But fuck off. Let's just get back to this big picture for Cristian Javier. He allows a double in the 6th. He gets pulled after 5 2/3. A very Cristian Javier innings pitched line. But over 5 2/3, he had 4 2/3 of no-hit ball. 3 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. The fastball was looking good, and he was choosing it a lot. Fastball. I think there was a graphic that showed on Fox that said that Javier had thrown a fastball on 20 of his first 25 pitches or something like that. Twitch.tv/Gallant says, Tankin43 says, great game of baseball tonight. Somehow the Roadstros pulled it off. This entire year has been unpredictable. The Roadstros are so fucking weird. It really does boggle the mind how they are so much better on the road than they are at home. So Cristian Javier, in 4 playoff starts with the Astros, has thrown 22 innings, allowing just 5 hits, 2 runs, 26 strikeouts. Honestly, his K-9 rate went down a little bit with today's performance. His ERA in those 4 starts is .87. The guy pitches well in big spots. And considering where he'd been earlier this year, it's a welcome sight. Makes you feel better about the big contract that the Astros paid him. And I do think it was rather telling that at the Tuesday press conference for the Astros, after the series shifted up to Arlington, Martin Maldonado asked what was different for Cristian Javier between what you heard, sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there, between what he was earlier this year and what he was at the end of the season. And he gave a short answer, and he was playing coy and chuckling a little bit. Something is different. What it is, honestly, I don't know. The game did have some tense moments because of Josh Young. Don't pitch to this fucking guy. Don't pitch to him. He had 1 home run, 2 home runs. If you don't have to pitch to him, especially with a runner on base, don't pitch to him. Though I suppose that Leody Taveras, who had that great catch of Yordan Alvarez at the center field wall, has been a bit of a pain in the ass himself. Dusty Baker gets a lot of hate. when it comes to the decisions he makes for the Astros. I love the decisions that he made for the lineup today. I would have loved it regardless of the outcome. I think moving Michael Brantley up to the second spot against a guy in Max Scherzer, who he has a lot of success against, was a good idea. Brantley did make some good contact, but 0 for 5 on the game. He moved Kyle Tucker back in the lineup. I thought Kyle Tucker was very patient. He drew 3 walks. He had a double in the 9th inning. You got to feel pretty good about Tucker going forward after today's game. Wasn't pressing like a lot of Astros hitters have been. One of the other ones who's been doing that, Chas McCormick. McCormick did not play. In comes Mauricio Dubon, and Dubon has been really good for the Astros this season. He bulks up. He subs in for Jose Altuve, and he goes 3 for 4. And remember, Chas McCormick's playing time was something that people were bitching about earlier this year. Martin Maldonado. Dusty Baker stuck with this guy. And look, I get it. He's not the best hitter. But Martin Maldonado broke the game open in the second with that 2-run single. Sorry, just tried to hide a yawn there. I'm starting to crash, and pretty quickly. So we're probably not going to go too long on this. But Martin Maldonado gave you a really good performance there. And when you add all of those things up, putting Dubon in, moving Tucker down in the lineup, managing Javier's innings, a lot of good to talk about. Really, the only concern that I have about Dusty Baker's management is that now the Astros have thrown their 3 best bullpen arms out multiple times. We've seen Brian Abreu in every game thus far. He finally allowed a run. We've seen Hector Neris twice. He allowed a 2-run home run. And we've seen Ryan Presley twice as well. Those arms are good. You use your good arms in the bullpen. Don't get me wrong. I do wonder, though, if the more those guys pitch, the Rangers actually get a little bit of familiarity with them. I'm also concerned about this. Yordan Alvarez got hit in the foot. He was running rather slow afterwards. I don't know why the fuck they sent him home in the 9th inning when Kyle Tucker hit that double, because he clearly wasn't running fast. There were a couple of that single he hit down the right field line. I know he crushed it, but that should have been a double. I think that he might be a little bit less fast on the base paths after getting hit in the foot by Scherzer in the 1st inning. But I wonder, because the Astros training staff always confuses me, especially when they're dealing with Yordan Alvarez, where it feels like Dusty Baker relaying the information he's given by them. What he does is... Jesus Christ, on the show, did you really send it? I'm not looking at it. I'm not fucking looking at it. You perv, you sicko. What was I talking about? Yeah, whenever Dusty Baker is talking about the injury report for Yordan Alvarez, oh my fucking God. I don't know what's happening, and Dusty doesn't seem to know what's happening, and you wonder if Yordan even knows what's happening. So, Yordan getting hit in the foot, even though he did play well the rest of the game, had the home run robbed. He had, in the 7th inning, the 2-out, 2-run single with the bases loaded. In the 9th inning, he belted that single down the right field line, and as I said, he shouldn't have been sent home. He had a good game as well, but that's just expected by Yordan Alvarez. The good thing is he didn't have to carry the whole offense. You saw some life from Jose Altuve. You saw some life from Kyle Tucker as well. More comments, twitch.tv/Gallant says, or youtube.com/Paul Gallant. And Fuentes, respecter, says, Minute Maid is a favorable park for any right-handed lineup. Other than outfielders knowing how to play the field, and is a short porch and left going to benefit the Astros more than any other team. Well, I mean, shit, the outfield advantage doesn't seem to be a thing, given the way that Evan Carter was playing left field. I thought Evan Carter did a great job, especially in Game 1. I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to that question. I think it's a good one, an interesting one. I think you want to ask a smarter baseball mind than me that question, because I'm talking out of my ass when it comes to a lot of stuff like this when it's baseball. Piggy2009 says, I caught a live. Hi, Piggy2009. Twitch.tv/Gallant says, Todd the Show's got some comments talking about Mauricio Dubon. He's a contact hitter, too. Goes a long way in the postseason. Yeah. I honestly think that they're going to have to play Dubon for the rest of the series, and McCormick is maybe an option that they have. I do wonder, though, for Game 4, if you'll see McCormick in for Brantley. Twitch.tv/Gallant says, is this awake late or up early? Both. I'm not going to lie. These playoffs, baseball playoffs wear me the fuck out. They really do. It's one thing to, work your whole schedule around like the Texans or something like that. Baseball with the changing game times and all the shit like that. And on top of that, all this stuff I'm dealing with my car. It's a lot. It is truly a lot. Twitch.tv, Tankin43 says, we have felt this way about the Astros team a lot this year. Then they go on the road and win. Yeah. It's crazy how many times they've done that. I think now they've won 17 of 20 on the road or something like that. It's crazy. David Fernando Bracamontes Jr. says, I'm worried the fact that Neris and Abreu gave up some runs. They've been seen by the Rangers how they will hold up the rest of the series. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Lucas Rumfield, Rangers rookies giving us fits. Yeah. Is Young a rookie? I'll be honest. I'm pretty shitty when it comes to knowing guys on other teams. Josh Young. Man, they got some good young players if he's a rookie too. Yeah, he's a rookie. That qualifies. 122 games played after 26 the year before. Fuck, man. Fuentes is following up on the last comment saying, I'm just trying to find logic behind the Astros stinking at home. I think that article Chandler Rome wrote about the hitter's eye being different is actually a possibility. But yeah, I don't get it. It's very difficult to explain because it's gone for such a long time. How is your car? Asks Piggy 2009. I got to go to the police station tomorrow to file a police report. So no, it's not great. Not great. Again, the scratch isn't that bad. It's more just fucking annoying. I'm leasing the car and I don't want it to be damaged on the off chance I do want to return it. Twitch.tv/Gallant says, if the Rangers win, do you care if the Rangers or Philly win the World Series? Yeah, I want the Phillies to win. I will root for the Phillies to win there. And we're going to have to do some sort of gymnastics, say that does go down, but we're not even speaking that into existence, Positive vibes only. I can't believe I even answered that question, Tankin43. I feel like you're a Rangers plant trying to get my positive vibes away. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little gassed. We'll have a radio show tomorrow to get you ready for the biggest game of the year for the Astros on tomorrow. Because just like today was, tomorrow is the greatest day of your life. Look for the podcast form of this show, which you can also watch at youtube.com/PaulGallant, twitch.tv/Gallant says, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Subscribe, rate, review, say nice things, be cool. Tell me I'm pretty. So long, farewell. Have yourselves a wonderful... Shit, it's Thursday already. Fuck, I'm tired. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace. I don't even know how to exit.